Dr. Stephen Greer has talked about, well, and you even mentioned how they're positive ETs and negative ETs. Can you distinguish between, and also they've talked about how the government has, reverse engineered in their government ETs, right? So can you distinguish, or how do you distinguish between which is like a government created craft, man-made craft, versus a positive ET craft versus maybe a negative ET craft? Can you tell? Or do you think it's just your vibration? And if you're in a higher vibration, you're only going to attract higher vibrating things, right? That's kind of the way metaphysics works. So I'm thinking it works the same way in this ET world.
Mm-hmm. So there is a way to determine physically by looking at the craft. First of all, that's the step one. If it looks like it's made of parts and like has seams and looks really rudimentary, I can't say that word, rudimentary, then it's most likely man-made. Not saying that it is man-made, but that's one checkbox that, you can check that possibly it's man-made. Number two, if you don't have a feeling of love coming from it or a message of peace or anything like that, then that's another thing. Number three, if you're vibrating in a place of love and kindness and purity, you're going to attract positive beings. If it's a negative being, they're not going to want to be around you too much because it would be like fire to them. Your aura would literally like hurt their energy and it's too disruptive for them. So it's like oil and water. Oils doesn't attract water, vice versa.
Yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Great. Okay, so do we turn the page again? Is there a next chapter?
What I'm about to tell you there is a lot of other experiencers out there talking about the same kind of stuff that backs this up. Since the 1960s, experiencers have been coming out talking about their hybrid children. And they used to play us like on late night TV shows, like mystery shows or whatever. And sometimes they would paint us in this goofy light and make us look really like crazy, right? But either way, we've been talking about it since the 1960s. We've been trying to get people to listen a little bit. But this hybrid program is it's the most common hybrid program that people like me get involved in. Now, there are other hybrid programs that exist. I don't know the details of those because I'm not involved in those and I'm not educated in those. But this is the most important one that you really need to understand because it involves humanity's future. So there's 3 different hybrids within this program. And type 1 is 99 to 95, give or take, percentage of humanity. All of humanity has alien DNA inside your genome. That's right. There is no 100% human on this planet. That's why you have back problems, have to wear shades in the sun. That's why you get sunburned. That's why you have all these problems on this planet, because we're not 100% from this planet. That is a whole nother story. Like the Anunnaki came here, edited our DNA, and kind of like made us slaves and stuff. That's what they say anyway. I kind of subscribe to that as well, but that's a whole nother tangent. We're just going to leave it at that. So type 1, everyone has a small amount of alien DNA and alterations in your DNA. Type 2 are people like me. I am a type 2 hybrid, or as Max Rempel, the geneticist that I'm teamed up with, we'll talk about here in a minute, he calls them earthborn hybrids. And I call them type 2 hybrids. Now, we both come to the same conclusion based on our research and everything we've gathered and been told by the ETs. I'm a type 2 hybrid. I'm an earthborn hybrid. And there's millions of us out there. So first of all, how did type 2 hybrids get more alien DNA? We have more alien DNA than type 1. How did we get that DNA? First of all, well, it happens over 4 generations. The Galactic Federation, or group of ETs, whatever word you want to use, select individuals from the type 1 category, the ones with the most alien DNA in the type 1 category, and they follow that family line for 4 generations, and they insert more alien DNA each generation. They insert a little bit more alien DNA. So every time the mother gets pregnant, they insert more alien DNA, and then do that for 4 generations. And by the 4th time, you get someone like me, a type 2 hybrid, an earthborn hybrid. We have more alien DNA. Now, why do we have this alien DNA? This is important. Now, there are souls that are floating around existence within reality that want to help, that have experienced so many things in their lives in different lifetimes, and now they just want to help. They just want to incarnate to help civilizations raise their frequencies and get to a point where they can break them out of tyranny and hatefulness and wars. So these souls go to particular groups within reality, particularly this one we're talking about, this universe, the Galactic Federation. Souls go to the Galactic Federation and they say, hey, I would like to help out Earth. And they're like, okay, well, we need to design you a specific body. Type 2 hybrids, type 2 hybrid bodies. That's why they created type 2 hybrid vessels for our souls to incarnate into. Now, why would we need special bodies? Well, they taught me that DNA has a frequency. It has 2 frequencies. The first frequency is the genetic physical makeup. It's the actual genetic code. That's a frequency in itself. There's another frequency. It's like the quantum frequency. It's the overall spiritual essence frequency of the DNA. Both of these have to be aligned to a certain frequency to allow your soul to incarnate into that body. So it's like an antenna for your soul. So it has to be aligned perfectly so we can be here. Now, our type 2 hybrid bodies have things that help us do our job. Like, we're more psychic when we're born. We are very sensitive to people's emotions. We can sometimes read people's minds. Some of us more than others. We're not created equal as type 2 hybrids. We all have different jobs. But there's a lot of drawbacks. But there are a lot of type 2 hybrids out there, and they don't even know who they are. A lot of us are abductees. A lot of us are highly functioning autistic, nonverbal autistic, ADHD. These are all characteristics. Not to say that if you have those, that doesn't necessarily make you a type 2 hybrid. Just something to check on the box. A lot of us are born prematurely. We're preemies, as they say. A lot of us have allergies, a lot of bad allergies from the environment to medications. Like I said earlier, my anesthesia didn't really affect well with my body. I almost died when I was born. I had a low immune deficiency. They had to give me a bunch of shots and build up my immunity my whole childhood. But I literally had like 106, 107 fever, and I literally like almost died because I was catching everything in the hospital. So that was a mystery to them, and it happens to a lot of us. So there are some drawbacks, but I think that closeness, this part is my assumption, I think the closeness to the other side, like almost dying at birth, kind of strengthens that connection to the other dimensions. But we'll put that to the side for now. So there's other things like you feel like you're from somewhere else. You feel like you want to go home, but you also feel like you're here to do something. Now, a lot of us feel like we are individuals on a mission, and we feel like we've been chosen to help humanity. The fact is, there's many of you. It's not just you, if you're listening to this. And it's not that we're chosen ones. It's that we chose to come here. And now is the time for us to unite to help humanity, to do your job. Some of us know our job. Some of us get activated like I did when I went to California. So there's that. So blood type. A lot of people have the blood type question. Like, if I have Rh negative blood, does that make me more alien or whatever? Rh negative blood is across the board between type 1 and type 2. So it doesn't really matter. A lot of type 2s, probably have a lot more Rh negative blood. But just because you don't have it doesn't make you not a type 2 hybrid. We just light up the room. A lot of our jobs are actually just to exist, to shine light into people's lives, to allow them to share their stories to you, because people open themselves up like a book to us. They just feel our energy and they feel comfortable with us, and they should. And it's difficult sometimes because we can feel people's emotions. We feel sadness. We feel the whole world sometimes. It depends on how much you've been working on yourself and doing your meditations, but sometimes we can feel the heaviness of the wars and everything. So sometimes it's hard to be here on this planet. A lot of us are also sensitive to solar flares too, like in big ways. The more you get awakened, the more sensitive you are to solar flares. They start activating more stuff inside of you, because the ETs have taught me that light has code and solar flares has code in it from the universe. It reactivates part of your DNA that allows your soul to come through more, to be able to remember more lives, to be able to have more abilities. So now, type 1 hybrids, the rest of you do have psychic abilities. You do have the capabilities of being telepathic, remote viewing, all of that stuff. It's just that type 2s learn to do it easier because we're physically, genetically, frequency, or aligned better that way. And we're here to help you. We're here to help guide you, to help you love yourself more, to teach you these ways, to help you understand that there's more than what's in front of you, and that the universe is a grand place. But so with that said, there is a type 3. Now earlier we mentioned hybrid children. Now I met my hybrid child. These are type 3s. Type 3 hybrids are our children. That is type 2's children, hybrid children. These are also known by, Max Rimple has labeled them starborn hybrids, and we are earthborn hybrids. So they are starborn hybrids. So they take our genetic material and they implant the female, and it stays in the belly for 4 months, and they take the fetus onto the ship, and it grows the rest of the way, and they grow up fast, way faster than human children. And for the male, I think you know the other way, they take the male's material and insert it into an ET female aboard the ship, and then they take it out of her after 4 months. So there's that. So these are starborn hybrids, or type 3 hybrids. These are our children. And they're so kind, they're so sweet. They have big eyes. A lot of them have different colored eyes, and some of them have black eyes. They're very, very petite, very tiny usually. Their hair is very thin, either blonde, translucent, or any combination thereof. And they're very psychic. They don't speak verbally, they speak telepathically. Most of the time, they only speak telepathically. And they can float things with their mind. That's how they play. They have these toys aboard the ship where they can float things and move things around, and orbs that they can move. It's like psychic toys. And then they're very kind, very gentle, but they can't be on the planet right now because of the frequencies that people give off, the negative frequencies and the fear frequencies. So they can't really be amongst people, but they can occasionally come down to Earth in private settings, like in your room or a closed location for the parent, like me, to see them. I saw my hybrid daughter here, right here, standing in this spot next to my bed. And that's when I realized I had hybrid children. And so in the middle of the night, I was laying there, and I felt this tiny little hand kind of just clasp my fingers like this, tiny little cold hand. And I was only slightly startled, and I was really calm, really relaxed. I couldn't really move too much. And I look over to my left side, which is this way. And she's just standing there about 4 feet tall, just shining white light, white gown. And she's got big black eyes, very petite, like pale white skin, pale white hair. And she's just smiling. And she says, actually, no, she didn't say anything yet, but I started tossing and turning for about 5 seconds as she was holding my hand, and it felt like she was pulling something out of me, like some kind of trauma from a past life that was trying to carry over into this life. And she pulled that out of me. I could feel it flowing out of my arm. And when that was over, I relaxed, and she's still holding my hand. And she says, "I'm here to help you, and we're going to keep helping you." And then I blacked out and woke up in the morning, and it took me a minute. I was like, wait a minute, that happened last night. So I have hybrid children. Now I know now that I have 9 and 1 on the way, because whenever I have another one on the way, they tell me in a dream, they show me, and it's more than just a dream, it's a vision. They show me. I'm usually speaking to the female that is pregnant or bringing her into existence. So yeah, I have child number 10 on the way. A lot of us have around 10. And the reason that they exist is that when we go down the good timeline, when humanity decides to put all the weapons away and relax and everything, they will be allowed to come to the planet and be the teachers of humanity, to help humanity bridge the gap between humanity and the rest of the galactic community, to help you teach you telepathic abilities, to help you open up everything. So they will be a part of society, and they will be adults by then, most likely. They vary in age, but yeah, that's pretty much it for that.
Wow. This is new information for me. So my question is, for the type 2s, you said type 1 has, they're 95 to 99% human, and the rest is ET
That's
DNA.
right.
So what is the percentage in the type 2s and the type 3s?
I'm glad you asked. Me and Dr. Max Rimple are actually trying to figure that out. He is doing a genetic study right now, and we're trying to find those DNA markers within type 2 hybrids, abductees, people like us, where we can actually identify those genetic markers, and then we can actually give you a number and prove that we have more alien DNA than the rest of the population. Now, type 1 hybrid, type 1 people, that DNA is going to be so diluted, so mixed in, that's really hard to find. Type 2 is really particular because you have changes over 4 generations, and there's certain markers in there that you can look for. It's a lot easier to pick out a golden egg amongst some blue eggs in an Easter egg basket, right? So we're looking for that, and it's looking good. Let's just say that, but we need funds. He needs funds to be able to do more genetic research. So, we're doing a campaign right now, and you can email me at, just ask me for more information, and I'll send it to you how to get involved with that if you're listening. And of course, the information will be in the description of this podcast. But if we find that evidence, that's going to be one page for disclosure. That's like really important, and for experiencers, because we've been talking about this for a long time, that we have hybrid children. So yeah, it's easier for them to hybridize with type 2s because we have more alien DNA. But they can actually take type 2 hybrids like me and combine us with any race within the Federation that's part of this hybrid program. So we don't always hybridize with the same race. So there's different, it's like it's a whole field of flowers out there in the garden.
Of different types of species, ET species. How many of them have you encountered? I know you said Pleiadians, and I know you
Yes.
said tall grays. Do you have a number as to how many that you've experienced?
So yes, I'll have to name them off and count them as I go. I can't remember the number. So I've met the Lyrans, which are cat-like beings, and I've only met them in dreams, dream contact. Then I've met the mantis beings, again, only dream contact and meditations, visions. And I've met the Pleiadians in every single way, in my room, on the ships, in my dreams, in person in California. And then I've met the blue avians one time. They were like a glittery, shimmery in my room one time, and they communicated to me. And then I met the many different types of grays. For now, we're just going to clump them into one box. I know I don't like to do that, but let's just say grays to be, simple. And then I met reptilians one time in a dream, and I think that's all of them that I can remember. And of course, hybrids. There's different hybrids that I've met, my children, and another particular grown woman hybrid on the ship. And and also met a Pleiadian gray hybrid, I believe. So that's 8.
Okay, so the hybrids that you're talking about are not just human and ET, but they're also amongst the ETs different hybrids.
Yeah, they
Is that
can
right?
hybridize amongst themselves as well. To them, it's vessels for souls. Like
Right.
they incarnate into vessels, so they can create a specific kind of hybrid vessel for a particular job. And another thing that they taught me about that goes along with that is that they taught me that they actually have soul transfer technologies because of this. So they can genetically design a body with the right frequencies for the right soul to go over into another body. Like, so if you align the antenna, the genetic frequency perfectly, you can leave your body and go into the other body and then get up Ain't that amazing? It's like it's absolutely
Changing
incredible. Yeah.
costumes,
Yeah,
really,
pretty much.
changing your meat suit.
It's the technology that they have is far beyond anything you can imagine. It is consciousness-based technology. And I'm gonna tell you something. The light that people see on the ships when they go into the ships, the
Uh-huh.
light is source consciousness. It is God. It is reality itself flowing through the ship, which means the ship is alive. The ship is alive with consciousness, pure divine consciousness. And the ship responds to your thoughts, and they connect to the ships with their minds, and they fly the ships, and it's beautiful. They fly the ships with their minds.
Right.
But yeah,
Wow.
it's
Okay.
beautiful.
So your hybrid children, what ET species are they uh, connected to? Are they Pleiadian or Mantis or
Well,
Greys? Do you know?
I know one is part gray and Pleiadian, and then mixed with me. So it was already a hybrid. So it was
Okay.
me and another hybrid. So now it's human and Pleiadian and gray mixed together. And the other ones I don't know. I don't know yet. I know they have different colored eyes, but they all have big eyes and very pale skin. So they all most likely have a little bit of gray in them. And
Do they look humanoid? They look
yeah,
humanoid?
they're humanoid. They usually have their heads are a little bit bigger than normal children, but they're very kind, very sweet. I'll tell you about a regression session that I did, and it's very sweet. And this is how I came to know that I had more. So during this regression session, I found myself sitting on the ship, and my children were sitting in front of me, like in a circle, and I was like completing the circle. And there was a window in front of me, which was kind of behind them. It was like a long window like this, and I seen stars outside, but they were all floating a toy, like a red toy ball or something, and they were floating it around. And Nova, the one that I met in my room, I call her Nova because I said if I ever had a daughter, I would name her Nova. I call her Nova. But Nova was sitting on my left knee, and the rest of the children were in a circle. And one of the boys gets up, and he was kind of on the right side of the circle. He gets up, and he pulls me, like takes me by the hand, and he pulls me towards the window. And then Nova gets up, and she allows me to stand up, and he pulls me towards the window, and I'm looking out, and I look down to the left, and I saw Earth. I saw Earth from space, and it was so beautiful. And he just wanted me to see that before I went back down to Earth. He wanted me to see Earth from space, and let me tell you, so beautiful, so amazing. And it was an experience that I'll never forget now. I love them so much, and I can't wait to be back with them or have them here on the planet. But it's so beautiful.
And so I guess you don't have any children here on the planet.
No, now it is possible for type 2s to have children. Some of us are sterile, but it's possible that we can have children with other type 1 humans, type 1s. But that's where it gets a little bit more complicated. So like if you, for example, it's kind of straightforward. If you have a baby with another type 2 hybrid, like if two type 2 hybrids got together, your child would keep all that hybrid DNA more pure. But if a type 2 hybrid got with a non-type 2 hybrid or like a type 1, that DNA would be a little diluted. But that's okay. It's just a vessel for a soul, you know.
Right.
So everyone's capable of psychic abilities and increasing their frequencies and getting to the levels of type 2s. It's just that we have an easier way of getting there.
Of the type 3s, or he called them the starborn hybrids. Well, do they have the same lifespan as humans, or do they live longer?
That's a good question. I know they grow up faster. That's all I really know. I don't know if they don't live as long, but I think maybe my instincts are telling me now. I don't know this. This is just me guessing and using my instincts. My instincts is telling me that they grow up to a certain point, and they stay at that point for a long time, for a while. So their DNA kind of slows down. They go really fast, and then it slows down. Their metabolism starts slowing down. So Yeah,
so they
that's
can
what.
live longer.
Yeah.
'Cause I know that I've heard about uh, age lengthening or reverse aging
Hmm.
technology that the ETs are supposed to be bringing us
Yes,
humans.
they have that technology as well. It goes along with their body creation technology where they can do soul transfer and all that. They have perfected genetics to a degree of impossibilities that we can't imagine. So it's the mantis beings are they have a lot of work in the genetic field and
Mhm.
designing these bodies and doing things like that. So that is their forte. Not to say that every mantis being decides to do genetic work, but they are literally their bodies, their
Masters.
minds, they're literally genetic masters.
Mhm.
So any genetic work that is done within the Federation has to be approved by many councils. So it's really important that you go through certain channels when you create life. So um, going on to another thing, creating life. They do create life and they do seed worlds with life. Now, what they've taught me is that, first of all, the universe is designed in a way by source consciousness. We're going to get into that. The universe exists in a way to support life. Not to say that every planet could support life, but there are a lot of planets out there that can support life. And where life can flourish, it will flourish. Life is everywhere in the universe. And I mean everywhere. Isn't that amazing to think about? There's so much life out there. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. But they seed life. They can find a planet and seed life. So technically, they're doing the work of our highest self, source consciousness. We are the painter and the painting. Everything is one. So we're either creating reality from a higher perspective, as
Mhm.
like God's source, or we can create life forms from this other level perspective. But essentially, it's all the same. We're just painting a picture on different levels of existence. Everything is art. That's what they taught me, is that everything is art and beauty is in everything. And we need to love each other, flourish life, protect life, create life with morals, of course, and go by the galactic law. But yeah, it's
What is
beautiful.
you? So you're mentioning the galactic law. What is that?
There are different rules within the Galactic Federation. Um, it's like politics, but it's not like Earth politics. So you have different groups, you have different like councils, and they're all divided into these group consciousnesses. They get together and they collectively are on the same page. They don't argue amongst themselves. So they are a like group consciousness. And all these different group consciousnesses deal with different things within the Federation. And they all make decisions and then they send that information to each other and they automatically know what conclusion they're going to make. So it's like a network of group consciousnesses that work together to make decisions.
I've talked with an experiencer that works with a council of eight. And there are eight different species. One is Anunnaki, one is mantis, a couple of grays,
Yes.
and I forget the rest of them, but they're part of a council.
Hmm.
So, and she said that there are many different councils, like what you're saying,
Yep.
but that's a very small council of eight that she particularly works with. So, can you um, talk a little bit more about that and people who do communicate with maybe not just one consciousness on the other side, but several, like a council?
Yes. So did you know that Gene Roddenberry, the writer of Star Trek,
Yeah.
actually in contact with the Council of Nine, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it was the Council of Nine. So he actually meditated. He was in contact with one of these councils. And it said that Star Trek was an inspiration from these beings that he communicated with and was in contact with. So when you watch Star Trek, so yeah, that's pretty much what the universe is like out there, but mix it with spiritual beings and souls and reincarnation, and then you got reality. So I thought that was amazing. But yes, there are many different councils that people can be connected to, particularly people here to do a job like Star Seeds. We all have people that we answer to, that we connect to. I communicate with the Council of Nine as well. So it's very vague though. They give me tiny directions, but they usually give information to other ETs, and then those ETs get the information to me. So it just kind of trickles down. Every now and then, I can feel the Council of Nine. They usually come in when it involves something that I'm not supposed to talk about or not supposed to do, and they're like, "Whoa, that's you're not supposed to do that or not talk about that yet." So they're more strict and more yeah.
So the Council of Nine that you work with, is that the same Council of Nine that Gene Roddenberry worked with,
I
or
believe
different?
so. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense to me that someone like Gene Roddenberry and maybe the other people who've created movies and stuff about those type things, even the science fiction writers,
Hmm.
to help us kind of have the language to talk about these things. So we have kind of a sense and our understanding of the bigger picture, the galactic picture,
That's right.
versus if we didn't have that information, people wouldn't, when you said beam me up, Scotty, or whatever, understanding these different things about frequencies and energies, we wouldn't have a contact. So
Exactly.
that makes sense to me.
Yep,
You know.
disclosure has been happening for a long, long time. Like
Mhm.
Star Trek, all that. It's like the little seeds planted, like you said. Everything has just been laid perfectly for humanity to ease into the pool of the water. That way, it's not such a shock on your system.
Right.